Hi everyone. Well, I wanted to say welcome back to a new episode, but I think it's officially welcome to our first YouTube specific video. Every other video on our YouTube channel is VODs or shorts that I've made, but this is our first official video for the YouTube channel. Don't mind this disaster. Um my office is getting like a whole renovation and the door is gone. So I put this little sheet up and then put my flag behind it so I could have a background. Um, Today I wanted to, as promised in the last episode, give you an update on our predictions race. Talk a little bit about kind of my overall impressions from Watkins Glen and some fun little future stuff coming up. So predictions, let me remind you. Emu picked the 7, the 52, the 30, the 23, and the 77. And I picked the 10, the 52, the 74, the 3, and the 27. So the way we do it is 1 point for being closer and 2 points for being right on. It also might be a little echoey, so I apologize for that. But we're just rolling. We're going. So Emu and I had that thing where we ended up both picking the 52, and she obviously, they were not the winner, but because of the way, I think they were like third in class, because of the way we did it, I not only gave her the point for being closer, but I gave her an extra point for picking first. Because she did send in her predictions to me the day before I filmed mine. So that ended up being 2 for her and 5 points for me. And if I go to my official, the OG sticky note of predictions, I've been keeping track, and that puts her at 5 and me at 14. There is obviously still time for her to mount some sort of comeback. She did win last year, so I'm kind of like a little bit on a charge, but you never know what's gonna happen. I did want to talk about just a couple of things that happened during the race. Obviously there was a lot of unhappy people, just fans, teams, drivers, all the peoples were mad, and everyone was mad. And I think that we all kind of collectively agreed that it's a real good time for LMP3 to be leaving the WeatherTech series, because I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm not saying that every single person that's in that series is a bad driver. There are some fabulous drivers. Overall, it's so dangerous. People like to joke and people like to say, and it is actually true, that it's just a bunch of dentists for the most part, but maybe we're to a point where they should be sticking to dentistry and teeth, and they shouldn't be mixing it up with some of the best race car drivers in the world, because it's so dangerous. It's it's not it. This is not it. But they're obviously not the only ones that have moments of not great driving. There was some not great driving, just kind of in general, little oopsie moments for a lot of people, but nothing really that kind of stood out as much on the driving standpoint as the LMP3 shit show. There was the mistake that everyone thought of, having the GT class waving them green to start when there was an obviously hurt GTP just right in front of them. That was super dangerous. That whole situation was not great. What else kind of stood out? Oh, I do have one gripe with Peacock. Their coverage was kind of garbage at the end. They decided in the last 15 or so, I think it was like 15 minutes of the race, 10, they were just gonna have a buttload of commercials, which resulted in people who were watching on Peacock, myself included, which is why I'm a little salty about it, not being able to see the GTP pass for the lead to win the race. Like, you watch 6 hours, you watch, 5 hours and 50 minutes of a race, you want to see those battles that are coming down to the end. So that was, not great. Oh, obviously we have to talk about IMSA taking away the Porsche Penske, the number 6, their win, because of their technical infraction. There was a lot of kind of back and forth with the fans. I saw just a little bit of discourse on Twitter because IMSA they have been known to take away wins. They took away, at the end of the year last year, I think it was last year, yeah, Petit Le Mans. They took away the Risi Competition win because they had like an issue with their drive time or something like that. They took that away and it was just gone. It was like an hour after. But they didn't take away the Meyer-Shank overall win for Daytona, which obviously that situation was very unique. But they didn't actually strip the win. But people were upset with the fact that they're taking away the win from the 6 because, they were within, or they weren't within like a millimeter or whatever they wanted of, the technical specification. I'm kind of in two minds about it because I get that they are being more strict, I feel like, since that situation with the 60 at Daytona, but at the same time, it's like if you're going to take away one, then you should take away all of them. Even though that one, no, there is no even though. They just should. It's, so I get it. I get what the fans are thinking. I get what the fans are feeling. What else? Oh, I had tweeted, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I will have all my links down below. I had tweeted that one of the teams that overall stood out to me at the end of the day, and I was really impressed with, was the team that I almost picked, which was the 66, Gradient Racing. They started like 15th, and they finished P5. They had, all their drivers had really smooth stints. Their pit stops were pretty much perfect. And it really seemed like they found kind of like their groove. They were really gelling. I was really impressed with all of them. So it seems like they've turned a corner, and hopefully they have, because they have so much potential to be the top. Like, we've seen like those shining little moments. So hopefully this is like their moment, But yeah, I think that was kind of all of my thoughts for that. I want to know what you guys thought overall. When do I never not have notes? I want to know what you guys thought overall about Watkins Glen and what you're thinking going just, for the rest of the season and going forward and into the next race. I'm trying to think when the next time is that Emu and I are gonna have predictions. So we're doing them. Oh, you know what? Here's what I might do. Because we were doing all the endurance races. We did the Indy 500, and we're doing IndyCar like end of the year championship predictions. And we're gonna do, like we did last year, our NHRA championship predictions. But I might do, because we did the Indy 500 and the NHRA's biggest race of their season also happens in Indy, the US Nationals. I might do predictions for that too. That would be fun. So September, I think. Let me make a little note to me. That is gonna be our next predictions. What? Oh yeah. Oh, ow. Oh geez. I have a very kind of sketchy stand that my phone is on. Trying not to make everything fall over, because that would be a fun blooper, but that would not be fun to pick up. I kind of wanted to talk about just, I always like to, I always say, Jesus, I'm not cutting any of this out. You guys see me ramble all the time on the VOD, and if you watch me when I'm live, so I'm not cutting any of it out. You guys always see me talk about like, oh, I have this coming up and we're gonna do this and fun things and blah blah blah. There's a couple things that I'm kind of planning. I'm always trying to, include more things that I like and that we like and things that are fun. I've been eBay shopping a little bit for more like hydroplane racing stuff, because I did the hydroplane trading cards. I don't know if there's like more sets of those. I'd have to look into that, but I have been looking for just like in general more vintage kind of like hydroplane racing stuff, and I've been finding some really cool pieces, things that I would love to own. So I might do like a little eBay haul and do like a little live unboxing for you guys, because I love hydroplane racing. I've mentioned that. Their season just kicked off in very dramatic fashion. It took one race for them to have blowover. Andrew Tate in is it the 91? The Goodman Real Estate hydroplane. It was a choppy water situation. He got caught in someone's rooster tail and it just flipped him over. He was totally okay, which obviously the important part. He then, because the water was so choppy and there was just so much spray from the rooster tails, I think it was Dustin Eccles in the U40, one of the orange ones. Couldn't see him. And then while Andrew Tate's upside down, he gets hit. His boat gets hit by Dustin Eccles' boat, and it did put a pretty sizable chunk in the front of Dustin's boat, but he was also fine. But dramatic. Dramatic start to their season. But I think it might be fun to do a little like vintage hydroplane racing haul. There's obviously a lot of stuff locally in here because it's a huge Pacific Northwest thing, so I might pick up a few pieces. Something else that I wanted to talk about is Emo and I talked about this a little bit recently. I think it was one of the last times that we did an episode together. We talked about wanting to do something that kind of mixed the worlds a little bit, and that was like a little bit different for us. So we are always like sending each other food recommendations and tea and like fun things like that, because we both love food and it's, I think it's so fun to try new things. I had told her there was a brand that I was aware of. I had written an article about them last November. It's a company called Sturdy Wheat. They make like pancake mixes, desserts, kind of dry like baked goods, bread things. Um, they are a brand that has been involved and is involved in drag racing. They are Minnesota based, as is Emu. And every interaction I've had like with their social media team has honestly been great. Like they seem like a really great brand, like really great people. So I thought it would be fun for me to buy some stuff and her to buy some stuff and to not only, talk about this brand that I think is great, but just have like a pancake party. Like, who doesn't love pancake party? Not quite sure how I would film that. That would be an interesting one. Yeah, have to figure that out. Because knowing me, I would want to be like, I'll just make pancakes right now. And that might be chaotic, but we thrive in chaos sometimes. You guys watch the show. You know. But yeah, I think it'd just be fun to like blend food and motorsports, and we're always trying to like do more things. So we're gonna have to see how that would actually logistically work. But they have so many great things, so many delicious sounding things on their website that we could easily each buy a couple things and be different from each other and end up having like all the fun. But yeah, I think, oh, also, I keep saying this, and it is true. It is coming. It is happening. We will have guests coming. It's like I said, everyone is so busy. I'm so busy. Everyone that I want on the show is so busy. So it's just a matter of like, finding the dates too. And Emu obviously has limited dates that she can work with as well. So finding something that works for all of us is like a little bit of a challenge, but because I've been doing like planning and like coming up with stuff, and I've been talking to her about it, and obviously in communication with the people I would like to have on the show, when it all comes together, it's going to be so much fun. So really looking forward to that. And yeah, I think that was kind of it. I'm sure, because I have ideas, that there will be more specific, like, for YouTube videos coming to the channel. But yeah. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you guys hanging out, commenting, subscribing, following, all the things. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.